4-1-1.
First serve. For Bates and Rettger. Jones and Jansen already won on the board.
Point.
And a foot fault called. They're playing straight up. Remind me to Desert Ridge. Do they play straight up or?
They mixed it up in the matches that I watched, and so it'll be interesting to see. I mean, there's certainly an argument to be made for each person playing that left side. Elise Jones may have the edge in just overall consistency, but the power and the offensive edge will certainly be with Jansen. So we'll see if they stay straight up or if they make some changes to that formation.
2-1-2.
Bates and Rettger, 2 on the board now. A lot of power off the paddle of Bates.
Yeah, really some easy power there for her. I like that play of driving at Jones, more likely to get a weaker volley that you can continue to attack going that direction.
3-1 now for Bates and Rettger.
4-1-2. Second side out.
And really a big, heavy serve from Bates, really setting herself up to be able to take some big drive chances on her third ball.
Point.
Getting tricky. The offensive lob from Elise Jones.
Another one of her specialty shots that she has perfected. I really like her on the right side because it does open up that cross-court lob for her.
Nice way to add some offense to your game. Shelby Bates comes flying back in. I thought that was going the direction of Leo Jansen.
Yeah, Jansen seemed to be completely in control of that point, but Bates came flying in and had enough power to surprise Jansen there with the swinging volley.
Rachel Rettger finds the corner.
Yeah, really like how she took her time with that, waited for the ball to apex, made sure she had that lined up and fired away. It's a good start from them.
Solid start for the 13 seed. And Elise Jones adds so much power. Shelby Bates goes, man, what do we got to do?
They did everything they could just to get one more ball back in play, but just too much pace from Jones and Jansen. Unfortunately, we've all been there. Looked like Bates was ready to hit it, but she saw her partner also seemingly ready to hit it. Just going to have to do a better job of talking on those middle balls.
Second serve. Two, 4-2. Side out.
Nice hold for Bates and Rettger. Still 2-point advantage.
I'll recall
Let serve.
4-2-1.
Nice dink from Shelby Bates, rather offensive.
Yeah, she put a law on that and really forced Jansen to dip down very low, earned the error there.
Second serve. Five, 2-2.
Just relentless pressure right now from Bates and Rettger.
Yeah, it was a great finish by Rettger, but really Bates and just her ball striking, her weight of shot appears to be really problematic for Jones and Jansen. I hope she continues to stay aggressive, because I really think it's going to give their opponents some fits throughout this match. Yeah, more of the same from Bates. I mean, yeah, she got a little lucky with the net, but I think she might have had a clean winner without the net on that one. Really doing a good job of pushing back Jones and Jansen on the initial serve.
And again, she's just playing lights out.
Yeah, no reason for her to change up what she's doing at all. She's taking a little more risk, and it's paying off right now.
Do you just keep the ball away, go return to Rachel Rettger, as that serve is just long?
Yeah, she's going for a small target on that serve, but again, the trade-off has been that she's won several points doing it. I don't mind the risk there at all.
She is just taking control of that ball.
She's swinging very free right now, and again, it's not just the pace, but it's the combination of pace and spin that really makes it tough for Jansen and Jones to advance to the kitchen line.
Tried their own little shake and bake, but it's well defended.
Yeah, good attempt there by Elise Jones, but a great read by Rettger to slide her body out of the way and send it back even bigger.
Nice recovery on the lob. Yet another winner from Bates.
Yeah, and some variety by Rettger there to really set her partner up. She dropped, she worked her way in with some good soft shots, and then threw up the offensive lob to put her team in an offensive position.
I think that was a teamwork play right there between Elise Jones and Leah Jansen.
If you can throw your opponents off about who's going to hit it, it's harder for them to read where it's going, that's for sure.
Smoke and mirrors, smoke and mirrors. The onslaught just continues. It's now game point for Bates and Rettger. And game number one. Wow, 11-2. Shelby Bates and Rachel Rettger playing awfully well.
Yeah, and they honestly, they just completely hit Jones and Jansen off the court with the ball striking, with the aggressive serving. It was very difficult for Jansen and Jones to get established and play very many of those dink rallies where they may have the edge. So look for them to really focus, like in other matches, on doing more with that return to be able to dictate with the first volley and not start the points with a disadvantage.
Looking now to championship court. Jansen and Jones with a 5-0 advantage.
5-0-2. Side out.
Yeah, they certainly seem to have righted the ship after game one, playing more their style here in game two, and it's paying off.
What a grab from Shelby Bates, but Leah Jansen moves the ball the opposite direction.
Yeah, she definitely tested the feet of Bates. Great dig there, but just, again, that relentless pressure, just too much for Rettger and Bates on that particular occasion.
Nice reset there from Elise Jones. 8-3 for Ben and Colin Johns.
5-0-1.
Took enough pace off that volley, did Thomas Wilson. And Colin speeding up the ball through the transition zone.
Yeah, Thomas Wilson really known to always want to slide to that left and find forehands. Great job catching Thomas Wilson moving there on the speed up by Colin Johns. Good recognition.
It's quite the reach from Julian Arnold.
He did everything he could not to fall in the kitchen afterwards. Great body control by him.
Side out.
And Julian continues the trek in terms of making sure he's heard on grandstand. We focus in now to championship court. 6-0, Jansen and Jones. Sound like a band.
Wonder what type of music that would be.
That's a good question. I think a little rock and roll. Great protection of her right shoulder, Leah Jansen.
Yeah, she did such a good job of keeping her dominant elbow tucked in to cover that dead space. So often players on the forehand side tend to take a bigger swing, and it exposes them when they have less reaction time.
Side out.
Really reaching, tough paddle position for Shelby Bates.
Yeah, great job by Jansen, recognizing that that posture of Bates was a little off balance. Didn't want any part of that volley, correctly let that one go.
6-0. Second serve.
Went up the middle, then found the sideline, Shelby Bates.
Yeah, great cover by her. That's her responsibility if Jansen does try to go for that middle speed up. Great job of getting her feet over there to sit on that counter.
Point. Timeout receiver. 7-0-2.
It has been all Leah Jansen and Elise Jones here in game number 2. You could already see just the aggressive style and also kind of neutralizing the play of Bates and Rettger here in game number 2. So they're going to take a timeout.
2-time.
Elise Jones and Leah Jansen with a steady advantage here in game 2. Cameron Irwin alongside Kyle McKenzie.
7-0.
It's Gender Doubles Day. One day away from Championship Sunday. Game 2 action unfolding now. Quick feet for Elise Jones as the switch is on.
Side out.
Yeah, nice penetrating dink there from Bates, and that's really what they need to kind of get back in this second game. We'll see if they can get a couple of points on the board.
Second serve.
Seems like they've also kind of changed the pace that they're giving back to Bates and Rettger.
0-7-2.
Yeah, they've slowed things down, and you can't slow every ball down, but there's certain moments where you have a choice of being a little more aggressive or a little more patient. They've chosen patience more so in this second game, and it's paid off for them.
Another hold for Jansen and Jones, 7-0. Grandstand 9-7.
7-0-1.
Ben and Colin up by 2.
Second serve.
So tough to hit one of those back with pace.
Yeah, and I don't mind what Jansen tried to do. Sometimes off the overhead, rather than try to drop it back, it's just so tough to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes driving it back,
7-0-2.
getting them to volley, and then dropping the next one is a pattern that a lot of these pros use.
Side out.
Little inside out for Shelby Bates.
Yeah, great angle there by Bates, and I like the shout out. She's trying to bring some positive energy and will her team back into this second game.
Second serve.
Feeling much more comfortable getting some of those dink rallies going their direction.
0-7-2.
A nice cover from Elise Jones.
Yeah, she is known for her defense. Very tough to get a ball through her.
Love the way she covered the middle as that ball went wide.
7-0-1. Second serve.
Yeah, pretty high on that initial drive attempt by Jansen, and they paid the price for it.
7-0-2.
Dink just wide, but love the recoil time for Leah Jansen in that hand battle.
Yeah, great cover on the first one. You see, like you mentioned, how quick she is between each subsequent shot. It's a lot of power and not a lot of wasted motion there.
Wow.
Second serve.
You know, and at this level of competition, you have to think about those things. It's not just how hard you can hit the ball, it's how efficient you can be with finding aggression, because the ball comes back so often at this level and sometimes faster.
And another hold. They've done it several times at this point, keeping the score at 7-0.
7-0-1.
Shelby Bates started that exchange, and Leah Jansen says, yeah, no, that's not going to work this time.
Yeah, Jansen kept that attack level and down enough. Hard for Bates to take that big of a cut at it and keep it in the court.
Leah Jansen unloads.
Yeah, and we talked about the kind of the chemistry that these two have. Right after Jansen wins that point, Jones gets super excited. They have that fighting spirit. So important to share that with your partner if you want to maximize your level out here.
Got pushed wide, wanted to find the speed up, but a nice lateral move from Shelby Bates.
Yeah, she's doing a good job of not just staying in her corner, but following the ball every time she creates an angle to be there to cover that middle speed up.
Leah not quite ready for that ball coming back, or at least not that low.
Yeah, I like the first attack, but yeah, just wasn't able to get the body control of hunching over and then getting back in that position, having that good posture for the counter punch.
Ben and Collin picks up game number 1 on the grandstand, 11-7. So they're in game 2 action there.
Second serve.
Shelby hasn't been missing those very often.
Is it the same ball? Zero 9-2.
Still looking for their first point in game 2. Leah Jansen with a massive backhand.
Yeah, and Bates and Rettger did a good job of moving the ball around. They were pushing Jansen and Jones off the line, but the counter punching of Jansen was just too much for them there.
Second serve. Nine 0-2. Point.
And another ball and point for Jansen and Jones, now 10-0.
10-0-2. Side out.
Yeah, and despite the scoreline, really neither team for the last few minutes has been able to get in a rhythm and string multiple points together. So as big a deficit as Rettger and Bates can have, but at this point, I think they just need to try to find some confidence. They'll most likely lose this second game, but try to find some things that are working to carry over into that deciding third game, if we do get to that point.
So 10-0 right now. Still looking for a first point here and a little bit of momentum into game number 3. Yeah, Rettger on the left now.
Side out.
And another side out. I don't want to misquote that, but I think Rachel Rettger said, "I'm not Annalie Waters," off her own mistake.
I think that's just her way of reminding herself to play within herself, and we all need that reminder from time to time. Know what shots are in your arsenal and which ones you're maybe pressing a bit more for.
Great hands from Leah Jansen. That's a big play right there for Shelby Bates. She showed just a little bit of everything in that one.
Yeah, she really showed some great defense just to extend the point, but she really picked her moment when she saw just a little bit of daylight from Jansen taking her foot off the gas. That was her cue to swing back and change the momentum there.
Second serve. 10-2. Side out.
Will this be the one to close out game at number 2? Elise Jones. Will they drop or drive here on the third? And Shelby Bates ends up doing the splits on the last point of game number 2. It's a pickle for Jansen and Jones.
Yeah, and they made a nice adjustment of just working points a little bit longer, realizing that it's going to be tougher for Bates and Rettger to come up with offense in those kitchen exchanges. They did a better job of returning better, volleying better to start the points and get into more of the style of point where they have the advantage.
Cameron Irwin alongside Kyle McKenzie. We'll talk adjustments after this point. Rachel Rettger and Shelby Bates with a quick side out. So for those two, you've just been pickled. What are you telling yourselves in terms of just strategy, not just mentality? Because it seems like they've already got the fighting spirit.
Yeah, no, they came out with some good energy in that first point. I think you want to think about how you won your points in game 1, where you're able to win 11-2, and it wasn't the patient style. And I know that that's, hard to hear for people that have been around the game for a long time, but sometimes the biggest advantage you might have is to be aggressive early, and the Bates drive and serve was really what was getting them ahead early in this match.
And there she goes with the third shot drop. Let's see what she can find with her serve now. Tries to work behind Rettger and sets her up. Gets hit right on the body.
Yeah, it didn't work out for them there, but I do like the idea if they are going to drop of kind of almost doing that shake and bake off of the drop. Now, you can't do it necessarily every time if the drop is high, but it gives you a little bit more time to make that decision as the poacher and kind of change the shots from Jansen and Jones.
4-1-2. Point.
It's the short hop. Rettger on the left.
1-1-2.
They're going to play straight up here instead of unwind.
Side out.
Putting everything she had into that one. Rettger.
Yeah, really threw her body at that one. Nice finish. They really need to keep things close here to apply that scoreboard pressure here early in game 3.
Football, right toe. Point.
And another foot fault, the second to be called on Jansen and Jones in this match. Bates and
2-1-1.
Rettger. 2-1, first serve. That's a very aggressive ding from Shelby Bates.
Yeah, great job by Jones to be able to neutralize with that ball. And you talk about other adjustments. We've seen a more aggressive tempo at the
2-1-2.
kitchen line from Bates and Rettger, but they've tried on a couple of occasions to attack Jansen. I think the more attackable player of the two would be Jones. She's a great defender, but her comfort zone is more resetting, not counterpunching. So I would test her a little bit here, see if they can pull off game 3.
They've tried to lob her several times, and she's proven capable to run down those lobs with a nasty overhead.
Yeah, she's not the tallest or most powerful player on the court, but she does have great feet, and she's been able to get back on the last couple with plenty of time to hit a good enough overhead to get the job done.
One, two, three for Shelby Bates.
Yeah, and that's what we saw from her in game 1. She was really the player that was dictating out here with her power, with her ball striking. She's going to need to continue to look to be aggressive to give them their best chance here.
Side out.
Leah Jansen just telling herself to get the ball over the net, give themselves a
2-1-1.
chance. As a hold takes place.
Point.
Rettger taking a shot cross court.
Yeah, she hit a very tight window there. Jansen may have played an out ball, tough to know, but good job staying on offense and really putting Jansen and Jones to the test.
Point.
Ball called out of bounds before the ATP was struck. Leah Jansen, you're going to confirm that call.
4-1-1.
So 4-1 here in the third.
Second serve.
Yeah, and that's where, to me, I like the choice to drive, but you have to be realistic with your goal of the drive. It appeared that she was aiming for a winner there. It's normally the wrong mentality in doubles. You simply want to pressure the volley and then make your best choice from that point forward.
Look out now to the grandstand as well. 11-10 for Ben and Colin. They have a match point opportunity.
One, 4-1.
What a hands battle to close out the grandstand.
Yeah, great job by Colin Johns to fend off those initial attacks and letting little brother finish it off from there.
Did you just see what I saw?
And there must have been something going on in the crowd there, because Colin Johns was very animated after that win.
The crowd are just the other side of the court.
Telling someone to shush, and happy to get through with that victory.
He just did the shh call to somebody out there. That's all I'm going to say. Social media warriors somewhere going to find something. Send it my direction.
Second serve.
Yeah, being the #1 team, they certainly have a target on their back every match, and looked like he had to draw from some energy, maybe a little chip on his shoulder in that one.
2-4-2.
Shelby Bates with a massive fist pump, and this game 3 remains close.
Yeah, and if you're rooting for Bates and Rettger here, you really have to like the body language, in addition to the scoreline.
Yeah.
But they just look very ready to compete, ready to kind of seize the moment here. We'll see what happens.
Second serve.
Leah Jansen doing a nice job finding one side, then the other of Rettger.
Yeah, really played within herself there. Didn't get too antsy to put the ball away. Knew that she could just maintain gradual control. That would be enough.
4-2-2. Side out.
And again, Rettger going with a little bit of a third shot drop, gets a bit high.
Two, 4-1.
That is a perfect ball from Leah Jansen. Just stunned and holding on the other side.
Yeah, and Shelby Bates points to herself, said, hey, that's my bad, my responsibility to cover that middle, especially when I pop the ball up.
Second serve.
And a great bounce back from her, really dipping that ball at the Jansen feet. Looked like she confused her a little with the shot selection there.
3-4-2.
That backhand side of Shelby Bates is dangerous.
Sometimes in these pressure moments, Cameron, you just have to grip it and rip it and live with the result, and worked out for her there.
Second serve.
Yeah, and Rettger knows it, just too high on the initial drop attempt. Did everything she could to get the next one back, but just instantly you're going to put yourself on defense when your opponent has a ball from that height that they can sink their teeth into.
There's the drive. And the ball called out of bounds.
Oh, point. Thank you. Point.
And another point. So Bates and Rettger 5-3 now.
5-3-2.
See if Shelby Bates yet again goes with the third shot drive. They go to Rettger. That's been the equation for Jansen and Jones to kind of neutralize that of Shelby Bates and not have to deal with it.
Yeah, it seems like they've made a conscious effort to try to return more to Rettger. I don't think they're as worried about her drive, at least in this match. And when they've been doing that, they've seemed to be a little bit more effective.
But then Rettger, a 1-2 combo.
Yeah, really nice use of the step back there, finds the two-handed backhand, and then puts the next one away. Good choice to stay aggressive here in these big moments.
Side out.
And a hold again, 5-3. They're not going to stack here. Keep Bates on the right.
Second serve.
You got to be okay with that to a certain extent. I know it's challenging. It's hard on the first serve, but at the same time.
I completely agree with you. Again, the stat line would say, oh, never miss your serve in doubles, but if that deep serve is winning you points, you can get away with taking a little bit more risk.
Speaking of risk, I think that just kind of surprised Elise Jones that it was coming that high.
Yeah, probably was a ball going out, but she already kind of had the instinct to cover that, and they just don't appear kind of in rhythm right now, and this is the time for Bates and Rettger to really take advantage.
Everyone loving watching men's and women's pro doubles here on the Carvana PPA Tour. That fist pump is becoming oddly reminiscent over and over again for Shelby Bates.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that in game one. We're seeing more of it here in this deciding game, and I'm liking from Rettger. She seems to be looking for a little bit more offense, has a little more bounce in her step. She's been the setup player the majority of this match, but sometimes to close it out, just doing a little more is the right play. She
looks there. And a side out, so 3-7, Jones and Jansen. If they're looking to make a move, where might it come?
They just need to get to the kitchen line, whether that's the drive drop combo or slowing it down initially. They need to get there more often, let the point kind of build organically, and I think that they're going to be able to kind of chip away if they can do that.
Chipped one away now, 4-7. They kept the pressure on Rettger, and somehow Elise Jones chased that down. And Elise Jones cannot believe it. She hustled so hard and then misses the ball just in the transition zone.
She holds herself to such a high standard, especially when it comes to playing defense and making balls. Really, really wants that one back. And credit to Rettger for that initial topspin lob. You don't see that very often effectively done with a two-handed backhand, but put that ball on a dime.
No kidding. 4-7, second serve.
4-7-2. Point.
Make it 5-7 as that overhead goes wide.
Yeah, and if you're Bates there, obviously she wants that back. She can't let that affect her confidence. Just has to have that short-term memory here that the great athletes have.
So they earned 2, was 7-3, now 7-5.
And again, Jansen and Jones just not getting to the kitchen line on a consistent basis, and that's been the difference here in game 3.
Shelby Bates, again, the third shot, drive, slash drop. It's kind of a little bit more of a hybrid on that last ball. Back here on championship court, Bates and Rettger with a solid advantage here, 8-5 in game number 3 to Elise Jones and Leah Jansen. She dug out the first.
Bates and Rettger still with the serve and the lead here.
And there's an ATP. Leah Jansen is fired up. There's an argument now taking shape.
Looks like Bates is calling that wide. Always tough to know when it bounces or... I'm not sure what the call is here. Hold on. I think maybe they're trying to say that Jansen's paddle touched the net here.
And now, ooh, that's gonna be a bit of an issue.
Does it make contact with the post on the follow through? It looks very, very close here on the replay.
9-2-2.
So that's going to be the 9th point.
9-5-2.
It's 9-5, second serve.
I'll recall the score.
And I'm hearing potentially that Leah Jansen's paddle potentially hit the post.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is the call, and that is why the point was awarded to Bates and Rettger there. But Jansen and Jones do get the side out, still have a chance here. They got to make their move now here at 5-9.
Two calculated attacks by Leah Jansen.
Yeah, she did a great job of leaning in, pushing her opponents back, and just really maintaining positional control there at the line.
So 9-5 was the score, now 9-6. Leah Jansen and Elise Jones need to make a move.
Only a great win for them.
So back in action, championship court. Trying to keep that ball in bounds is tough as she's moving to her left for Elise Jones.
Yeah, they did a good job, Bates and Rettger, of moving Jones around. She did everything she could, but she doesn't have the most reach and just got a little exposed there.
And the patience pays off. 7-9.
Yeah, when they get to the kitchen, I really feel like that's where they have their biggest advantage. Look for Bates and Rettger when they're in those neutral points to maybe work that inside foot of Leah Jansen, maybe getting them to fight over those middle balls just a little bit.
Bates now on the left. And a good put away.
And plan A is always, if you can avoid letting them get established at the kitchen line, maintain your advantage for as long as possible. Nice aggression by Bates and Rettger there.
Second serve.
Third shot miss as that return goes to Rachel Rettger. They pushed her well beyond the baseline. Second serve with a 2-point advantage. Creates the pop-up on the right side of Elise Jones.
Yeah, really, really nice attack. Great time for it, finding that right hip of Jones. And that would be my strategy if I'm Rettger and Bates here. It would be maybe dink to Leah Jansen, inside foot if you can, to stay away from her forehand. But if you are going to attack someone, I think you're better off taking your chances with Elise Jones. Not quite as dangerous of a counter puncher as Leah Jansen is.
A match point opportunity for Bates and Rettger now. Elise Jones takes a look.
And Shelby Bates appears to be frustrated with herself, thinks maybe she saved Jones on this attack, might have been going wide. So tough to make that decision in a split second.
7-10-1.
Better to go than not on match point if you're asking me. Ball back to the side of Jansen and Jones. And they earn 1 on the first serve.
Yeah, we talked about body language cues earlier. Really like what I'm seeing from Jansen and Jones right now. They're ready to compete. Let's see if they can dig their way out of this hole.
What a pickup from Leah Jansen. When your defense turns into offense on the same shot, you've done something very well.
And she knows it, and that got her fired up. Looks like we've got a timeout here from Bates and Rettger. From there, just play the point your normal way. You probably are going to have the advantage if you can execute there.
And right now, they just scored another point without even getting to the kitchen line. Just a nice drop.
Yeah, it's always a bonus. You understand everybody's feeling pressure out there. And that's why we love these matches. It really can go any way.
All tied up.
Second serve.
Second serve now. Elise Jones.
10-10-2.
Great placement right into the canyon.
Yeah, it looks like Jansen took the wrong angle there. She was covering her sideline so much, but I think she would have been better served taking more of a middle path on that particular occasion.
10-10-1.
They had a match point. Now they've got to find a few more points to get them back. Jansen now on the right. Excuse me, the left. As that ball's out of bounds, she had been on the right. So again, these two just switching right and left, as are Bates and Rettger. That's been kind of the MO throughout the entirety of this match.
10-10-2.
Her serve was deadly, and that one goes well long of the court.
Yeah, the whole match she's been really taking some risk for aiming for the back couple of feet. Just certainly not the time that you want to make an error there for sure.
They found the hold, and then they found a point.
Yeah, looked like Bates just pressing just a little bit on that last attack, trying to speed it up below the height of the net.
They survive! Leah Jansen and Elise Jones with a comeback in game 3.
They got all they could handle from Bates and Rettger, but credit to them for being mentally tough, bringing that grit and that fighting spirit that we talked about that they both naturally had. They played off of each other there really well.
Look at this final point, but more impressively, the scores in this game. They dropped game number 1 2-11. Then they pickled up in game 2, and then game 3, it's 12-10 in the third with a full comeback.
And they fought off multiple match points. Just a really gritty performance. Not every match are you going to always feel comfortable and play your best, but if you can find those wins in these moments, it's a big confidence builder moving on.
Dave Fleming, Drew Felios coming up next on the mic for the rest of the day.